welcome into another episode of Threes and Crowd. I'm Preston Vargas here for another episode. We got a lot to get into today with the SEC and the Big Ten ruling on player eligibility to a lot of results from around Major League Baseball. We'll get into all that. Before we do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more episodes like this. So let's get into this right here. So yesterday the SEC released a statement saying that players can't return from the NFL, NBA, and WNBA drafts if they had not pulled out already. Of course, this comes on the heels of the whole Daquan Wright situation with LSU and Lane Kiffin defending it. And the SEC last night voted unanimously 16-0, including LSU, to stop this from happening. So I think this does mean that Daquan Wright will not be eligible, which is good for the landscape of college football. He shouldn't be eligible to play for LSU or any school for that matter. And the question is, will the other conferences like the Big 12 or the ACC say something about this and potentially ban these guys from coming back? I mean, this all comes off the heels of a court in Louisiana saying that, or actually there's a federal judge in Colorado that initially said that players in the class of 2022 could come back to play for a fifth year. And the NCAA approved the new 5 seasons and 5 years rule, which that really propelled them to get this done. So on the heels of this, right on for the SEC and Big Ten to put their foot down saying this will not happen. But I don't know how this will hold up in the courts. I mean, what's to stop any player from going to, like, a court in Louisiana that they had the injunction so Daquan Wright could play for Lane Kiffin and LSU? Just because they said it's okay doesn't mean it shouldn't be okay to play. I mean, if you have courts allowing players to play, and I've said this before all this week, that these players should not be allowed to play. And it comes off the Bediako situation with Alabama basketball. Initially, he was ruled eligible before somebody else said that he wasn't. So they need real uniformity across all college sports to really clamp down on this thing. And yeah, we'll see where things go from here. Of course, they can still go back to the court system, but I doubt that they'll probably do so. Or actually, no, they're definitely going to do so. And they said it would only affect this year. I disagree. It's going to affect future classes as well. In the future, you'll see a player go undrafted in the NFL, get invited to a mini camp beyond this class, and then decide to go back to college, or at least try to. That would set the precedent here. That's why you need to nip this in the butt now and not allow these guys to come back. So, with all that, let's get into the Dodgers and Braves from last night. And that was a great game we had on the stream last night. So it actually didn't really get going until the 8th inning, but there were some fireworks before that as well. So Ozzie Albies with an RBI single to drive in Matt Olson, who had the leadoff double. That was the first extra base hit of the game. Then Ohtani in the top of the 9th with Iglesias on. I think it was the second pitch he took that to left field over Lane Thomas and went down for Ohtani, who hustled in for a triple. Unfortunately, the runs couldn't get the run support, and the Braves end up winning that one 4-3. So you take a look at what this means for the National League wildcard standings right now. So that does put the Braves within 3 games of the Dodgers for that first round bye to the divisional round. And I think that's going to be crucial for whoever has that spot, whether it is the Dodgers or the Braves. The extra rest there, not having to play either the Padres or the Diamondbacks. And we'll get into we'll get into that a little bit later on, but that'll definitely be crucial. And then the first place Milwaukee Brewers are still up there. They're still a problem, 81-51. That result, and the Brewers lost last night too, by the way, to the New York Mets. So Dodgers could have had a chance to overtake first place. They still have a chance to do that by the end of the night. We'll see what happens there in that race. In the wild card standings, the Chicago Cubs, I guess we'll talk about their game last night against the Diamondbacks in a crucial National League wild card showdown. So the Cubs made history scoring their 30th unanswered run. So, of course, they blew out the Seattle Mariners 19-2 on Sunday, and then beat the Diamondbacks 7-0 on Monday. And then they had a 4-0 lead, so that's why they had 30 unanswered runs. Let me read the stat that I saw this morning. So, it was a franchise record Tuesday, scoring their 30th unanswered run over 3 games, breaking the previous record of 29 over 3-game stretch since 1969. So, yeah, like I said, Monday they got it to a 7-0. They beat them 7-0, jumped out to a 4-0 lead, and it ended. The streak ended after the 8th inning. So let's recap it right here. Because I went to bed last night with the Cubs up, and then woke up this morning, they had lost. So what happened was, in the 8th inning, Gabriel Moreno had an RBI double that scored Barossa. Then Perdomo singled to score 2 runs. So it was 4-3. We go to the 9th, and then Waldschmidt comes up, and he only hit his 3rd home run of the season for that as a pinch hitter in the 9th spot. So he has 3 home runs now on the season, and 2 of them this season have been walk-off homers. I can't remember. I think that was over a month ago that he had his last walk-off homer, but 3 runs and then 2 of them are walk-offs. He's definitely clutch off the bench. We'll give him that. But to drive in those runs, to make it a 5-4 win for the Diamondbacks, and they play one more game tonight, or actually this afternoon at 3:40 Eastern. That's a 12:40 first pitch in Phoenix. So yeah, definitely a crucial point in the wild card race there for the National League. And then we'll talk about the other National League wild card teams right here. So we'll take a look at the Phillies and the Padres, the other teams in there. The Diamondbacks are a game back from the Padres, by the way. So Phillies last night, they faced off against the Mariners. They lost again after their 9-game win streak came to a snap on Monday. They ended up losing 4-1 to the Seattle Mariners. Cal Raleigh hit another home run, so maybe he's starting to get back on track here. So that home run came in. That came in the 2nd inning of the game. So Cal Raleigh now up to 18 homers on the year, but his batting average still way down at 169. He's definitely struggled this season, but maybe a late season pickup for Cal Raleigh. That's definitely something to watch for there. San Diego, they faced off against the Pittsburgh Pirates and lost again, 1-0. So they lost in 12 on Monday, 3-2, then lost 1-0. So the Pirates got the series against the Padres. They're looking for the sweep this afternoon. So, and the bullpen should be better now for San Diego. Did they use how much of their bullpen did they use? Actually, not much. Yeah, Michael King going 7 innings. Then Marion came in for 1. Then Mason Miller, he was credited with the loss. Allowed the 1 earned run in the 9th inning. So I'm surprised they brought in their closer at that point. Of course, O'Neal Cruz hit the go-ahead homer in the 9th inning for the Pirates to win that one. So it's definitely been a close series. The Padres have one more this afternoon before going on a 6-game road trip to Tampa, then to Cincinnati, which the Tampa series should be a crucial one. Take a look at the analytics now for the National League wildcard race. So right now, according to CBS Sports, the Padres have the slight edge over the Diamondbacks for that final wildcard spot. 70% chance versus 38% chance for Arizona to make it. The Marlins are still out there, but they've dropped their last 2 to the Red Sox. Of course, Jarren Duran had a grand slam for the Red Sox last night. Marlins are just above 500 at 67 and 66. So that's something to watch for there. The American League wildcard race, it's pretty much anyone's race from 3 to 9 for that final wildcard spot. Tigers, they've dropped a couple games. Even though they got a win last night against the Rays, they're starting to reel a little bit. 2-8 their last 10 games. Mariners are starting to pick it up at the right time. They're 3 games back from the wild card and 2.5 back from the division. So that American League West is definitely not good. I want to take a look at the projections for the American League West. So it's a dead heat between 3 teams in the Astros, Rangers, and Mariners. Right now, Astros a slight favorite at 53% chance, with a 53% chance to win. They're 4-6 their last 10. The other teams, the Mariners and the Rangers, are starting to surge. So I want to take a look at the Astros' remaining games against those 2 teams. They have the Mariners in a 2-game set, and that's the only one they'll play out of that. They do not play the Rangers again the rest of the season. 2-game set on the 22nd and 23rd of September. And then the Texas Rangers, do they play Seattle again? They do for a 3-game set from the 18th to the 10th of September, around when NFL starts. So that is the AL West race. So right now the Rays have the best record in the American League by 3.5 games. Even though they had a bit of a slump, but they're in a little bit of a slump now. They're trying to get back on track. So we'll see where things go from there. Red Sox are still hot. They've won their last 5 games. 8-2 their last 10. Guardians are starting to surge. They've won their last 6 straight games. So in terms of the AL Central race, the White Sox, they lead that division. They're okay, but the Guardians are starting to surge. Let me see if they play each other once more to end the season. I don't think so. Okay, they do. From September 14th through the 16th in 3 games. So that's going to be a crucial series there for the American League Central Division. So, anyways, let's get into some football news right now. So, we had news yesterday that today just came out that Giants receiver Calvin Austin, who they signed from Pittsburgh in free agency, he is now out for the season with a torn ACL. So he was projected to be like a second or third receiver. Yesterday, crumpled to the ground during one-on-one drill while running step for step with cornerback Deonte Banks. Immediately grabbed his right knee, and the practice field went quiet. So he was eventually carted off, and it could open the door for Odell Beckham Jr. to potentially have a bigger role than we thought he was going to have with the New York Giants this season. So we'll see how he is and how the Giants wide receiver room will be moving forward. So yeah, we'll have that, and then the NFL rivalry uniforms were released. So I think it's the NFC North and the AFC South who have the rivalries this year. Let's take a look at those uniforms real quick. So I'll pull it up here. So we'll start with actually, here's who's going to wear them this year. So the Colts will wear theirs week 3 against the Houston Texans. The Packers are going to wear their rivalry uniforms week 5 against the Chicago Bears in that big game there in October. Detroit will wear theirs against Minnesota. Week 8, Jacksonville against Indianapolis, also week 8. Then Tennessee will wear theirs against the Jacksonville Jaguars, week 10. Houston will wear theirs against the Colts. In week 11, Minnesota will wear theirs against Detroit. In week 15, the Bears will wear theirs on Christmas Day against the Packers in week 16. So, yeah, let me take a look at this. So the Bears uniforms, they have kind of like a navy blue uniforms, pretty much their same colors, except with they're going to wear orange pants in the George Stanley Hallis jersey. Love the football patch in the right corner here. And they'll be wearing orange helmets. As long as they're wearing blue and orange against the Packers, I'm fine with it. Detroit's rivalry uniforms, they're mostly white. They got a blue helmet as well. The blue helmet looks pretty good. I won't lie there. The Packers, they'll have their... it looks like it's a throwback to... I wouldn't say... Not really a throwback. It's more like honors their history, but in a way that still looks a little bit modern. They're wearing a white helmet instead of their normal yellow. And then for the Vikings, they have like a Norse theme. Have their looks like Norse stripes on their shoulder pads. Their numbers look more like Viking numbers. Then we'll go to the south. The Houston Texans, they're going with an Oilers type of look. All white uniforms, all white helmet with some Oilers colors in there as well. That's interesting. I'm surprised the Titans won't sue. I mean, they sued the Cougars for trying to do an Oilers look. So, let me see. When's Houston wear them? Against the Colts. I think they should wear them against the Titans as a middle finger to them. Because they stole their team from them. They stole their history. Yeah, I would definitely do that. The Indianapolis Colts, I don't really like them that much. It looks like an all-gray uniform with blue numbers and a blue helmet. I think that's probably one of the worst. Bold City uniforms for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looks like kind of a throwback look. They have all teal helmets. White jersey, black pants, and their numbers are black with Jaguars written on the front of the jersey in cursive. Then for the Tennessee Titans, they're doing a Music City look. They have an all blue helmet, sky blue helmet, with navy uniforms. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good uniform. Their numbers looks like they have kind of like a guitar string on their numbers, which is pretty cool. And it looks like the rivalry jerseys and fan gear will be available on September 1st on the NFL shop. I might get one. We'll see. So, see if we have time for one more. Oh yeah, here's a good story from the Little League World Series. So, this player for Alabama, Phoenix City, her name is Kinley Rasmus. So, last night she set the record for hits in the Little League World Series. So, that's a good record to set there. She's been the star, really, of this Little League World Series run. And so let me pull up this article here. Broke the record for most total hits by a girl on Tuesday with her 5th of the tournament. And of course, you had Monet Davis in the past as a girl playing in the Little League World Series. So Phoenix City has won 3 straight and advanced to the elimination game Wednesday. Kinley tied Monet Davis for single game strikeouts last week in the opening round loss to Tacoma, allowing 1 hit on 6 scoreless innings. And then on Monday against the Pennsylvania team. 1 second. So Monday against Pennsylvania, she had 6 more strikeouts, bringing her total to 14. So, scheduled for today, Phoenix City plays Hamilton, Ohio in the elimination game tonight. So that should definitely be a good one. Make sure to tune into that. But anyways, I'll do it for today's episode. Make sure to leave a like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. For more episodes like this, we will be back for another one tomorrow. And we'll be back on stream tomorrow night at 7 o'clock as the Steelers take on the Bills and the Rams take on the Chargers at 10. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you again next time. Have a good one, everyone.